and yet when you see that they're blanket because it's the Green Brigade, and they cause so much fucking violence at third parties, peace, box, that they've came against it. Now, they should be rising above it and saying, aye, we work with the Green Brigade, we don't agree with the Green Brigade, blah, 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 but this is for a good cause. This is for a food bank. This is for people that maybe not be able to eat their fucking Christmas. This is for people that not be able to put something down on the table for their fucking family at Christmas. That's what Celtic's about to me, you know?
I know, mate. You better believe it, mate. That's why, football, the actual game of football, it is a release. I mean, for 90 minutes, whatever you've gone in your life, you can shut that down and just sit there and watch a team wearing a beautiful strip, even although it's got an alcoholic thing on their jersey, and the strips, the hoops have been broken. They might have unbroken history, but they broke the hoops for a few filthy shekels for an alcohol company.
Exactly.
C'est la vie, but I mean, the whole thing has gone to pot, mate, and there's either a way it can go, mate. If people want to have principles, I'm sitting here now in the busiest, for my profession of doing taxing, right, the busiest night of the year, right, and I'm sitting here no able to go in, and it's crushed me, mate. I can't even begin to think, mate. Was
this all through the Sandaza thing?
It's all connected, mate. Once it's finally Sin died me, then I'll be able to I'm not even giving a fuck about it. I'll tell everybody my real name, mate, if it comes out. But the thing is, hold on, mate.
Was it the licensing board that Sin died you?
Mate, I'll tell you in a couple of weeks, mate. It's in a few weeks' time, mate. A few weeks. I can't. You're close to, you're hitting the nail on the head, mate. Aye, without saying everything, aye, it's fucking...
So it was a political move then, eh? So because you had a wee bit of a joke, had a wee bit of a wind up with somebody, they didn't want to tell you all the time, just for laughs, shit like that. They didn't want to tell you the whole group up and go, face shaker, blah, blah, blah.
See, the thing was, bro...
Some people lost their livelihood because of that.
No, but see, because I've got principles, right, and see, because I stood by those principles, and because I didn't want, see, but I can't come out and say what the reason is, but because I get principles, mate, and because I wouldn't back down on it, and the Sandaza thing was a final nail in the coffin. The zombies were able to exert whatever it was, and I was an open goal for me. I gave him an open goal because what happened with that call on that night, straight away after it, and then they had enough ammunition sitting there, and they shot me down. And even if I got my licence back, I wouldn't even want to work for them, because for the dirty lying bastards and the racist cunts that's there, and the fucking muppets that are councillors, mate, I swear to God, mate.
Can I ask you something? I don't mean to be personal here, right? But what are you doing to survive, mate? What are you doing? Because that's obviously a living, and they've took that away for you. They suspending you.
Don't worry about that, mate. I'm sorted, mate. I'm a made man. I'm a made man to a degree, so I've got food and I've got a roof, and I'm just waiting for another roof to come, mate. Prior to all happened, I had a house that for 3 years, my marriage fell apart, mate, and for 3 years I never paid my mortgage because I couldn't sell the house. So I couldn't sell the house. So I ended up going to Barcelona for about a dozen times in 3 years, going there with my daughter to Poznan, taking her there for the Barcelona game. So at the time of my life, I cheered myself up and I cheered my veins up. And at the end of the day, and for what I paid for the house and for how much I took out of it, I rode them for every fucking penny that they were worth, the dirty bastards, mate.
Right,
every fucking
Tommy,
penny.
Can I ask you something?
And the next time I'll do it even better, mate. The next time,
Tommy, can I ask you something? See somebody that's been through all that, Tommy, then, right? Can I ask you a question?
Aye.
Right. See somebody that's just recently been through that, marriage breaking up and all that, how did you cope?
Well, my poor mate who died, he took the brunt of it, and I joined Celtic forums and started, he said, do your radio shows, and my release when I was doing taxi and sitting dealing with drunks and sitting in the dead of night, having to pick people up that had no relation to, or just couldn't be arsed with people who would come in with the most boring chat, and I just wasn't on their level. I would just go through the motions. So I would use the radio at night time, you know, and then when my wee mate, when I was going through the worst of it, then my wee mate had kept my strength up, and then he said, you know, well, but it was with the way he came to me, because he defended me. Some hun bastard on an Edinburgh radio station on that Scotty McClue, I'd said a point, and some hun bastard went, oh, this dirty fucking, he's this and that. And so he came on and went, listen, I know that boy Tommy, he's a brand new boy. And he hadn't even met me, and I thought it was a bit weird, but I thought, oh, the guy's fucking brand new for defending me that way. And he gave me the idea to do that. So the thing that's kept me going, mate, is through that. I remember, one of my first shows was, I paid the fucking thing for the day when I was doing my first live shows. It was March 2010, and my wee mate died by the end of that. Was it the Pope came in September 2010, and then a doogie. So, but here, the thing is,
about keeping your pals close to you and keeping yourself busy, isn't it? You know. That's it.
And but here, the thing is,
in the past.
Even though the reason and all the stuff about the taxing, would you call it? I hated doing it, mate. For years I hated doing it, and it was an unhealthy, bad setup. And the way I am, mate, I would have probably still been doing it until it put me into a box. So it's probably for the better. It's probably for the better. The way it's happened, because like I said the other night,
as long as you're surviving the new before,
no, there's just the one thing is, it's day not in the noon, but the Waynes are brilliant about it. You know what I mean? And well, they're no Waynes, I mean, they're fucking teenagers, but it's just.
But you're Waynes, right?
I know, but I'm just sitting here, you know what I mean, on a Saturday night, and and it is because I had principles and I stood by them, and then, as I say, if I shot myself in the foot, then c'est la vie. I was happy to shoot myself in the foot, and if that's the way it was meant to be, then it was the only way to help fucking save my life and save my outlook, because the way I was going, driving people about me, it's no, taxiing's a hard fucking, as I say, dealing with people like that, mate, are steaming all the time. I mean, especially working night shift, it's fucking...
It's long enough, I know, you know, I've got a relation with the taxis, and it makes decent money, but see that guy's out Friday, Saturday, Sunday night, and then he's out Monday night shift, Tuesday night shift, Wednesday night shift, Thursday night shift. So they work hard, they deal with a lot of fucking people. They deal with people that normal people are in, sort of what you call normal jobs. I don't know how you call them, you know.
What I ended up used to doing, see, during the week, I used to sit there with my computer with my wee dongle. I was sitting in a place next to the mast so I could get a good coverage, and I'd just sit there, and then if I got a job right, and honest to God, the controllers and all the different companies I was with, I would, for the last I don't know how many years, I was just the most fussiest bastard. See, if I got a fare that I couldn't be bothered with, I would just, and if I'd been, I could wait 20 minutes, half an hour, and then I would get a job, and I would look at it and see if it was a wait and return. I just radio back in and say, here, take that back. And then I would go another 20 minutes. Another 20 minutes later, I would get another job. So that'd be 50 minutes. And I'd be sitting there, happy as Larry, just fucking tapping away, phoning somebody or on the computer. And then they would give me another job. And I would look at it, and it would be a fucking waiting to return, or I'd be wanting to go for it. And I would look at the name, I would see it, this cunt. And I'd just go, here, take it away. So there'd be times, and the only time I really liked doing it was doing my pirates. That was the only time. And then see the risks for doing that. See the risks for doing the pirate. I mean, they're fucking heavy on top for that. So it was stressful. And then everything that happened back at the fucking house. I mean, being a taxi driver didn't fucking help me. Being unsociable. I mean, it's a fucking... So in a way, it's just...
Tommy, I'm the same boat myself. My mind is boat doing everything, and it's like, I don't know why, but see, to be honest, don't see how to ask the questions. I don't know why. You know what I mean? I don't know why. But at the end of the day, it's still a horrible thing that happened to you. But you've got to just fucking dust yourself down and get up and have good mates in about you, have good family in about you, and just fucking get on with it, you know what I mean?
So in the way, mate, I remember when a new salesman get put on us with my sales manager, and he says to him, tell him how you out your door. how you approach a door. Well, you just put one foot in front of the fucking other. That's how you approach any door. And that's what you do with life, to move on, no matter what obstacle there. You can sit there. Well, I would have to say, to sit there greeting is an admirable thing to do. To sit there greeting and to let those emotions, instead of holding them back, never say to anybody I don't greet. Get every emotion out there, and then stand up and then walk on and do something else. And
that's all right. The greeting's all right for one night, but see, next day he's up, you go, right, let's fucking get my life together. You look all about here, you know what I mean?
And you find that life throws up different stuff that takes your mind away. So even although you're bad one day, then you get a sleep on it, you wake up, and then something happens, and you just go on with it, and then before you know it, that happened to me last night, and then the day, and then a couple of nights ago, and then the next day, it's like, well, what can you do? Because you can either sit there and just keep fucking let it do and you're nothing, or there has to come a point where you just say, look, fucking, I'm not going to let it do my nothing, just fucking change your head and then just move on into it.
Well, what I know is Tommy Rain, when I was going to work now, you know, I was going to work, and so I found the mornings the worst, because obviously you're sitting there and you're maybe dreaming or something about good times and shit like that. You wake up in the morning and you realise it's a dream. You go to your work, you know, and you go to do jobs and shit like that. And you go to jobs and it's like, you know, woman saying, oh son, your missus must be so pleased. Like, oh, I'm perfect. Oh, that's terrible, son. And it's like, they go, oh, don't you worry about it, you know. And you need to snap at it. You need to snap at it all the time, because see, if you don't, you just dwell on that and you just sit and go, for fuck's sake, what's this all about? But you need to say, right, let's fucking snap at it, let's just look forward, you know?
I hear you, mate, I know. And this time,
you know,
as well,
that's the best advice I give to anybody, you know? It's just, I mean, I'm sitting here and my heart's broken, I'm fucking looking at Christmas and I'm going, what's it all about? But at the end of the day, you've got to fucking look forward all the time, you know? 2014 will be a new year, new opportunities, and I'm a great believer in life is fucking market free, you know? Things happen for a reason.
You better believe it, mate.
I'm no religious in any way whatsoever, but what I would say is that life is market free, you know? Things happen for a reason, you know?
And you know, for myself, mate, and see, when I moved into taxiing, right, when I left my sales job, I thought, I need to find something here that could give me the free time. And then when I got to taxiing, and I realised then, I couldn't work for anybody. See, when you become a taxi driver, I can sit there and moan about it, and loads of taxi drivers will moan, right? But the reason why they don't go do something else, right, is because it's easy money. There's nowhere else, even although it's a cunt today, and if you do manage to find out how to do taxiing and you work round what you work round and you go for it, you either own your motor or you rent it and you take whatever you can get out of it, you can make something out of it, you can make something out of it, but it's not a good life, mate. And so for me,
Tommy, you're fucking put your 12 hours on a Friday, 12 hours on a Saturday, maybe
if you're lucky, 14, mate, 14, 16 or something.
Well, there you go. You're basically being asleep and getting up and into the fucking taxi and you know something. That's not life, Tommy. You know, I'm teaching the converters here, but you know why ain't no fucking life. You know what I mean?
And that's why, mate. Because see, when I got to the taxiing bit, when I realised then that, well, for me now, I mean, I don't want to work for any company. I don't want to take part in the capitalist. The way I used to look at the taxing, if I did the night shift, I was hardly assisting the capitalist system. And now, I just want to sit in my house and retire at a grand old age of 41. I know I've joked about it before, but I could happily sit here and no work for anybody else and my rest of my puff, mate, because that's how pissed off I am with the capitalist system and the way it is, mate, and the way I've seen my life and how to do it.
Do you know, there's a song, but I think it's the verb the song goes. The Verve wrote a song, and the words in it is resonating for me since I've ever heard the song, right? And it's, you're a slave to your wage until the day you die. And that, you're a slave to money until the day you die. And it's true, you know.
You don't have to be, but mate, you don't have to be. You don't have to, sorry to interrupt, you don't have to be.
No, but majority of people believe they are. That's what I'm saying to you. You know, oh,